today I will be talking about a very important and a very interesting topic, which is AI in cyber risk management for digital banking. So, by allowing the presentation, I grant the permission for it to be uploaded and shared across various social media platforms and official websites of iCapital Academy and Corporate LLP. So, we live in a time where banking has become completely digital. While this is a convenient, it is also brings cyber risk. So in this presentation, we will going to talk about how AI can help and manage, reduce those risks. In this presentation, I will cover how banking evolved, the role of AI, and some of the common cyber threats, and how AI tools are being used for cybersecurity. So, digital banking means using the internet and mobile applications, platforms, and banking services like checking balance, sending money, or paying bills without going to physical branches. It is faster, cheaper, and 24/7 available. Now, let's talk about the evolution of traditional to digital banking. Banking has changed a lot in these days. Earlier, everything was manual, ledgers and paperwork are happen, and then comes the core banking system that made things faster. After that, online banking and mobile application become popular. So in nowadays, we have fintech companies like new banks that work fully on online. Then AI and cybersecurities are now being integrated to protect digital banking system. Now let's talk about some of the core components of digital banking. So there are four core components of digital banking, such as mobiles and internet app for consumers. Second one is payment system like UPI, NEFT, IMPS. Third one is AI-based CRM tools to serve customer better. Fourth and last one is most importantly strong cybersecurity to protect consumer data and privacy frauds. Now let's talk about some of the benefits of digital banking. The benefits are much clear. Customer gets 24/7 access. The transaction happens in real time. Banks save money by reducing manual work. And fourth and last one is AI banks can offer personalized services and detect fraud early. Now let's talk about what is cyber risk. Cyber risk means the risk of financial losses of data that can theft due to cyber attacks. For example, someone hacking into banking system, stealing customer data, or blocking online services. These risks are growing faster as banks go digital. Now let's talk about some of the common cyber risks in digital banking system. Some of the common cyber risks includes first one is phishing scam. Phishing scam where users are tricked into giving their passwords. Second one is malware that steals banking data. Third one is server breaches exposing sensitive information. And fourth and the last one is fake applications or websites that look like real banks. Now let's talk about some of the examples of cyber attacks. So there have been real cyber cases too. So in 2018, hackers stole 94 crore rupees from Cosmos Bank using cloned ATM cards. Second one, even HDFC customers got fake SMS link that stole their long information. Third one is Axis Bank servers was breached in 2016. And even Bangladesh banks lost $81 million due to SWIFT or SWIFT system attacks. Now let's talk about why digital banks are prime target. Digital banks are attractive targets for hackers because they handle huge numbers of online transactions daily. Second one is they store sensitive customer data like Aadhaar card and biometrics. Third one is they use third-party applications like APIs, which can be risky if it is not secured. And fourth and the last one is there is no physical face-to-face verification method, making fraudsters easier. So fraudsters fraudsters can make very easy to breach the data. Now let's talk about some of the cyber risk life cycle in financial situations. Managing cyber risk is not a one-time job. It happens in a cycle. First one is identifying the risk. Check for weak points in systems and third-party applications. Second one is assess risk. Understand how dangerous those risks are. Third one is mitigate risk. Use tools like firewalls, AI, and encryption to reduce risk. Fourth and the last one is monitor and response. Continuously track threats and respond quickly using artificial intelligence alerts. Now let's talk about why cyber risk management is crucial for banks. Banks deal with huge amount of money and personal data. If a system is hacked, it can cause financial losses, legal issues, and loss of customer trust, which is why cyber risk management is very important to protect the bank and its customers. Now let's talk about what is artificial intelligence or AI is. AI means making machines smarter enough to think and act like humans. In banking system, AI helps with tasks like detecting frauds, scoring loans, and responding to cyber threats. It learns from data, make decisions, and get better over time. Now let's talk about some of the key features of AI. AI has four main strengths. First one is it learns from data, which is we also call machine learning. Second one is it finds pattern in a large data set. Third one is it make decision very quickly. And fourth and the last one is it adapt to new types of threats by updating its modules. Now let's talk about types of AI. So here we discuss three types of AI such as narrow AI, general AI, and super AI. Let's talk about each of them. Narrow AI does specific tasks like fraud detection used in banking. General AI, it is some of the conceptual AI we can think of. It can think like human but still not fully developed. Now let's comes super AI. It is smarter than humans. It is only for theoretical, it is not exist in current scenario. And in bank today, narrow AI is used in the most cases. Now let's talk about machine learning versus deep learning versus NLP. These are some of the AI types. Let's talk about one by one. First comes machine learning. Machine learning helps AI or artificial intelligence to learn from past data. So they learn from past data, and deep learning use layers to detect complex things like malware. It is like a human brain. And third one is neural language processing, which is also known as NLP. It helps AI to understand human-like languages used in chatbots or spam detection. Now let's talk about some of the roles of AI in cybersecurity. AI is very useful in cybersecurity because first one, it watches system in real time. Second one, it keeps learning from new threats. Third one, it can recognize frauds pattern. And fourth and the last one is it automates alert and responses very quickly. And it reduces manual work. Now let's talk about AI technique used in cyber risk management. AI use different methods like first one is anomaly detection. It finds unusual behavior. Second one is supervised learning. It's learned from past fraud cases, like it is detecting or collecting data from history. And the third one is unsupervised learning. What is it? It finds new type of risk. This technique helps to detect threats that normal tools may miss. Now let's talk about benefits of AI in managing cyber risk. AI makes cybersecurity stronger day by day. It detects threats like faster than humans. Second one is it working 24 into 7 without getting tired. It can handle huge data set in seconds, and it reduces human errors caused by fatigue or oversighting that can be arise due to human lag or human limitation. Now let's talk about some of the limitations of AI in cybersecurity. AI is a very powerful tool, but it is not perfect enough. It needs a lot of good data to work well. It can show false alert, creating confusion. It's expensive to set up. Like if you want to learn or improve the current model, it took you a lot of money. And fourth and the last one is it sometimes lacks human judgment, especially in complex cases. Now let's talk about why AI is ideal for cyber risk detection. AI is the best tool for detecting cyber risk because it watches for threats in real time. It handles huge amount of data for many systems. It learns from past attacks and adapt, and it reduces human mistakes by automatic detection and responses. Now let's talk about AI versus traditional cybersecurity methods. So AI is better than older methods because it is faster, it is more accurate with fewer false alerts. It can scale easy for large banks. It can adapt to new threats, unlike older systems that need manual updates. Now let's talk about AI-driven cybersecurity strategy framework. AI helps banks secure their system with these five strategies. First one is identify, map all digital systems. Second one is protect, encrypt data, use firewall. Third one is detect, monitor threats using AI. Fourth one is respond, act quickly using automated alert system. And fifth and the last one is recover, backup data, improve defense using AI feedbacks. Now let's talk about future of AI in cybersecurity. The future of AI is exciting. AI will learn on its own without much training. It will predict attack before they happen. It will be fully integrated into banking system. And when combined with blockchain technology, it will make banking more secure and transparent. Now let's talk about AI pattern recognition. AI in pattern recognition. AI is very good at spotting patterns. It finds unusual user behavior like sudden loggings from new locations. It detects repeated attack methods. It alerts in real time when anything looks off or unusual. Fourth and the last one is this helps banks to prevent attack before they happen. Now let's talk about supervised versus unsupervised learning. AI learn in its own. So it can learn by two ways. What is supervised learning? Supervised learning is uses labeled data like past fraud cases. Unsupervised learning, as it sounds like, it finds pattern in unable data to use for new types of frauds. It can detect new types of frauds. Both are used in cyber risk detection. So now let's talk about deep learning for malware detection. Deep learning helps to detect malware by learning how malware behaves, even if it is a new, and scanning emails, codes, and files for threats. It reduces false positives and it reacts in real time to stop damages. Now let's talk about AI for anonymity detection. So anonymity detection means spotting things that are not normal. AI helps by watching for strange behavior or strange pattern like odd logging or odd time logging or large transfer, detecting unknown threats without needing labeled data, standing instant alert for quick action. Now let's talk about AI in time monitoring. So now let's talk about AI in time monitoring. AI provides 24/7 security. It watches users activity, it watches users actively, systems and networks. It real it reacts with milliseconds, works across all banking platforms. It helps to catch frauds and unauthorized access instantly. Now let's talk about AI in fraud detection. AI helps AI helps fight frauds by finding unusual spending patterns. It's sending real-time alerts to consumers. It watches users' behavior like logging habits. Now let's talk about AI in fraud detection. AI helps uh, AI helps fight fraud by finding unusual spending patterns, sending real-time alerts to consumers, watches watching use behavior like logging habits. It reduces false alarms with better accuracy. Now let's talk about AI in transaction monitoring. AI consistently watches banks' transaction to spot unusual transfer, like large or cross-border ones. It tracks spending behavior and it can run 24/7 without any fatigue. And it helps banks to follow anti-money laundering rules. Now let's talk about AI in credit risk management. AI helps banks to decide who gets loans. So it evaluates a person's income, spending, and credit history. It's spending, it speeding up the approval. It avoids errors in judgment. It updating risk score as a person's financial behavior changes. Now let's talk about document scanning and OCR in KYC. AI use OCR, which is known as optical character recognition, to read identity documents like Aadhaar cards and PAN cards. It automatizes KYC during onboarding. It reduces manual mistakes. It speeds up the whole process and it ensures better compliance with RBI guidelines. Now let's talk about AI for geolocation and device ID verification. AI adds extra layer to secured by tracking where user login for it like AI add extra layer for security by tracking where user logging from, checking if device is trusted, it flagging fraud based on location mechanism, it working with OTPs and other steps to block fake access. Now let's talk about transaction volatility monitoring. Transaction velocity monitoring. AI watches how fast and how often transactions happen. If there are too many quick ones, it could be a bot attack. AI sets smart limitation. It learns user habits. It blocks suspicious action in real time. Now let's talk about AI in microloan, and BNPL. AI helps to detect fraud in small credit service like buy now pay later, which is also known as BNPL. It identifies fake identities using devices and KYC patterns. It monitors repayment behavior to flag possible frauds. It stops people from applying for multiple microloans using the same device. It gives instant risk scoring during loan applications. Now let's talk about AI in multi-factor authentication or MFA. MFA means adding more than one way to verify users. It's like two-factor authentication, but it is more than two-factor authentication. AI improves this by checking users' behavior and location before logging. It increasing security if logging seems risky. It making it easier for regular users but hard for attackers. Blocking logging attempts for stolen credentials. Now let's talk about AI in instruction detection system. So instruction detection system watches networks for suspicious activity with AI. So threats are caught in real time. AI understands what is normal flags and what is unusual patterns. It learns new attack style and evolve over time. It can automatically block or isolate threats without watching or without waiting for human input. Now let's talk about AI in early threat warning system. AI can predict threat before they fully happen or occur. It scans real-time data to find early signs of danger. It uses past incident or past pattern to spot similar patterns. It sends alert based on severity or criticalness or crucialness. So team act faster. It helps to reduce both losses and response of time. Now let's talk about credential stuffing and brute force detection using AI. AI protect against hackers who try to guess or reuse password. It detects multiple failed logins from similar IP address. It spots bot-like behavior. It flags logging attempts from faraway locations. It can block access or focus on extra verification instantly. Now let's talk about spam filtering using AI. AI filters out dangerous emails by scanning subject lines, contents, and sender information. It using NLP to understand the tone of messages. It learning from new spam style over time. It making sure real emails are not wrongly blocked. Now let's talk about AI in secure customer authentication. AI helps verify customer more securely by using biometrics like fingerprint or faces. It adds smart OTP or behavior-based check. It recognizes trusted devices. It alerting when logging activity seems abnormal. Now let's talk about email SMS threats scanning with NLP. So AI with NLP or natural language processing can read email or SMS and detect dangerous links or scams. It can spot fake messages pretending to be from the bank. It understands tone like urgent phrases used by the scammer. It blocks or flags such messages before user even see them. Now let's talk about AI for botnet and DDoS defense. AI protects banks from botnet and DDoS attacks by spotting sudden traffic spikes. It telling bots apart from real users. It's taking action automatically, like slowing traffic or isolating the server. It learned from attacks to defend better next time. Now let's talk about cloud-based cyber risk monitoring. Many banks now use cloud platforms like AI helps by watching cloud activity in real time. It's checking for wrong settings or open access. It's securing operations across different cloud providers. It's sending early alerts for any risky behavior. Now let's talk about real-time alert generation using AI. AI watches everything and sends alert immediately when something went wrong. It scans all digital activities like logging and transfers. Alerts are ranked critical to low. So team focus on serious threats first. It helped to reduce response time and control damage faster. Now let's talk about use of AI in ATM fraud detection. AI is used in ATMs to detect fraud, scans camera footage for suspicious behavior, it detects card cloning pattern, it blocks access after wrong PIN attempts, it flags withdrawals at odd hours or locations. Now let's talk about AI in AI in schemer device identification. Scheming device steal card information from ATMs. AI help it to secure by detecting unusual hardware behavior. It track abnormal card uses, watching camera footages to spot tampering. It's sending alert for quick investigations. Now let's talk about AI in payment gateway security. AI keeps payment gateways safer by detecting fraud instantly during transactions. It's spotting bots or automated attacks. It's watching transaction speed and frequency. It's making customers feel safe and confident in digital payments. Now let's talk about AI for UPI and QR code threat detection. AI protects UPI and QR code user by scanning QR codes for fake links. It watching for odd UPI behavior like frequent transfer. It verify it verify merchant using QR codes. It blocking fake requests in real time. Now let's talk about real-time fraud detection in e-payments. AI watches online payments live and log for it detect unusual behavior based on amount, device, time, and location. It signs of identity thefts or card cloning. It works across UPI, net banking, and card payment. It's detected. If fraud is detected, the payment can be paused or blocked immediately. Now let's talk about voice and gesture-based ATM security. Some ATMs are now use AI to boost security with voice recognition to confirm identity, gesture analysis using cameras to detect suspicious movements, safer for elderly or different abled users or special able users. It alert if alerts are sent. It help to detect fraudulent practices. Now let's talk about AI in alternative data credit detections. AI look beyond credit scores. It uses mobile uses, bill payments, and online shopping behavior. It helps to low income or new users who don't have credit history. It gives real-time credit profile. It leads to better loan detection and reduce default risk. Now let's talk about dynamics scoring model using AI. AI updates credit scores constantly by tracking payment habits and income changes. It giving personalized risk score. It adjusting to life events like job losses or salary hikes. It making lending more accurate and fair. Now let's talk about AI for microcredit lending. AI makes small loans easier and safer by using mobile data and spending habits to access risk. It approving or rejecting loan in seconds. It cutting down manual check to reduce cost. It catching risky behavior early to reduce loan defaults. Now let's talk about AI in detecting fake loan applications. AI spot fraud in loan applications by checking ID documents and photos using OCR and facial recognitions. It verifying applicant details like job or income. It watching behavior like fast form filling or proxy IPs. It helps avoid bad loans and non-performing asset or NPA. Now let's talk about AI tools used in banks like IBM Watchstone and other real-life watch cases. Now let's talk about bank use server and several AI tools. IBM Watchstone for customer service and risk assessment. Second one is Dark Trace. It detects threats across bank networks. Third one is Splunk. It helps in security monitoring. And fourth and the last one is SAS, VIA, and Friedels and used for fraud and financial crime detections. Now let's talk about Splunk and Palo Alto AI tool in banking cybersecurity. Splunk collects security loggings and spot threats in real time. It, it provides a more secure work environment, and second one is Splunk's SIEM capabilities. It helps to prioritize and report risk. And third one is Palo Alto Cortex XSOAR. This AI-powered platform automatizes incident response workflows. It helps banks to react faster to phishing, malware, and network instructions. Now let's talk about modeling tools like XGBoost and Random Forest. XGBoost gradient boosting framework. It is widely used in banking risk modeling. XGBoost builds strong predictive models by combining multiple weak learners, especially for fraud detection and credit scoring. Second one is random forest. It enables learning model. It creates forest for decision, decision trees and aggregates their result, making it effective for credit risk, default prediction, and anonymity detection. Third one is logistic regression. It is a baseline risk scoring tool. It is used as a benchmark in finance logistic regression models that probability of default or fraud based on input variables. Now let's talk about adaptive authentication engines. So AI adapts how user logging based on risk levels. If logging is normal, simple password works. If logging risky, ask for OTP or biometric. It balances security and convenience. Learners and updates in real time. Now let's talk about risk control metrics using AI. AI helps banks build better risk control metrics or RCM. RCM is used to match risk level with control action. AI updates this based on new threats. It helps banks to focus on critical risks and manage them more efficiently. Now let's talk about AI-driven blockchain integration in banking. When AI is combined with blockchain, smart contracts become safer, transactions become tamper-proof, and data sharing is controlled and verified. Settlement happens faster and more securely. Now let's talk about zero trust security model with AI. Zero trust means never trust, always verify. AI check every user or device, even inside the system. Access is the access is the given only after real-time verification. Systems are segmented so if one part is hacked, others stay safe. Now let's talk about automated threat intelligence platform. AI tool collect threat information from around the world, dark web, malware report, and cyber forums. It links different attacks, indicators, and update the system. It sends real-time smart alert to protect bank system. Learners from every attack to improve protection. Now let's talk about AI-driven SOC or Security Operation Centers. AI helps security operation centers by detecting threats automatically and sorting them by importance or relevance. Now, second one is it reduces workloads for analytics. It works with SOAR tools for quick responses. It learning from past incidents to improve this system. Now let's talk about ICCI Bank's AI-driven cybersecurity setup. ICCI Bank use AI in smart ways. They have a special information security group monitored at the board level. It uses multiple defense layers like firewalls and audits. AI used for fraud alerts and behavior monitoring. They also run regular cyber drills to stay prepared. Now let's talk about SBI's AI-powered fraud alert system. SBI uses AI to monitor all customers' activity in real time. It detects strange behavior like new logins or odd transfer. It sends instant alert through SMS or calls. It flagged early warning signs like prompter changes. And it helped SBI reduce fraud with fewer false alarms. Now let's talk about JP Morgan case. AI-powered cybersecurity and fraud detection. JP Morgan used AI to monitor millions of transactions in live. It spot fraud using data like locations, amount, and history. It improves anti-money laundering check. It scores transaction with real-time confident ratings. Now let's talk about some other AI case studies. So Barclays fights fraud using AI by detecting payment fraud through behavior analysis. It using tools like scam signal to spot social engineering. AI also protects email and SMS from phishing. Next comes Razopay, AI-driven fraud detection and risk engineering engine. Razopay AI tracks. Razopay's AI tracks IP address devices and Paytm behavior in real time. It chooses the best payment gateway automatically. It scores transactions live and trigger extra security steps when it ended or needed. Now let's talk about PayPal AI-driven fraud detection scam alert system. PayPal's AI work behind the scenes to monitor your users' behavior in real time. It alert or block risky peer-to-peer transfer. It uses dynamic coding to detect fraud and trigger extra check if needed. Now let's talk about RBI's role in promoting AI adoption in banking. RBI supports AI in banking by creating an ethical AI framework focused on privacy and fairness. It uses AI in its own tool for supervision and fraud tracking. It promotes cyber defense model like zero trust security. Now let's talk about Bank of America, Erica Enterprise Scale AI Assistance. Erica is Bank of America's AI assistant. It handles billions of queries like balances, fraud alerts, etc. It reduces customer service loads and it sends smart alerts and even suggestion budgeting tips. Now let's talk about fintech cybersecurity case snapshot. Fintech face many cybersecurity threats like phishing, fake KYC, and API misuse. AI help AI help with detecting device fraud and data anonymities. It's supporting the digital KYC. It it physically recognize the user ID and facial recognition and account takeover protection. Now let's talk about cybersecurity regulation for bank in India. So some key regulations include RBI Cybersecurity Framework 2016, data protection law like DPDP Act, CERT in rules for incident reporting, and IT Act 2000 for cybercrime and privacy. Now let's talk about Personal Data Protection Act PDPA and artificial intelligence. PDPA ensure data privacy for users. Banks using AI to protect their server. It get proper consent. It avoid collecting unnecessary data. It protects sensitive information using encryption and unauthorized transactions. Now let's talk about GDPR compliance for Indian banks. Even though GDPR is an European law, Indian banks must follow it if they handle EU data. AI system must be transparent. Users have a right to explanation for AI detections. Privacy and fairness must be part of the AI design. Now let's talk about ethical concern in AI cybersecurity. Some challenges in AI uses include there are no clear law for AI in banking system. Risk of bias and unfair decisions. AI decision can be non-transparent and cloud system can create cross-border legal issues. Now let's talk about regulatory challenges in AI adoption. There are no So now let's talk about RBI guidelines on digital banking cybersecurity. So Cybersecurity Framework 2016. RBI mentioned a robust cybersecurity policy for all banks with broad level approval. There are real-time threat monitoring. Bank must implement system for continuous monitoring of cyber threats and incidents. Reporting requirements. Any major cyber incident must be reported to RBI within 2 to 6 hours. And third-party risk management. Banks are instructed to assess and secure third-party vendors' involvement in digital operations. Now, let's talk about base 3 framework and risk tools. So first comes base 3 is a global rule to keep banks stable. It includes keeping enough capital for all kind of risk. It using tools like stress testing and value at risk. It ensures liquidity ratio to avoid sudden shocks. Banks are now using AI to track this risk live on dashboards. Now let's talk about role of RG Tech in compliance automation. RG Tech means using technology to simplify regulatory works. AI helps by monitoring regulation changes in real time. It generating reports based on live data. It reduces manual errors and saving times. It makes compliance faster, cheaper, and more accurate. Now let's talk about ethical AI, bias, transparency, and explainability. So let's talk about using AI ethically is very important. Sometimes AI show biases like unfair loan rejections. Deep learning models are hard to explain, called black boxes. Customers and regulators now expect clear reasoning behind AI detections. Banks must ensure fairness and transparency. Now let's talk about cyber insurance and AI. Cyber insurance helps cover losses from digital attacks. AI helps by predicting risk exposures, which improve insurance pricing, detecting attacks early, reducing damages. It generates data that can be used to file accurate insurance claims. Now let's talk about challenges in implementing AI in cybersecurity. So there are some difficulties in AI or integrating AI. So first one is lack of skilled professionals. Second one is high cost and complexity. Third one is trust issue with AI detections. And fourth and the last one is legacy banking system that don't support AI tools. Now let's talk about some of the key skills for cyber risk teams in banks. Cyber risk team need new skills like understanding AI and ML models, knowing cyber laws and compliances, skills in ethical hacking to test systems, and data analytics to make sense of AI reports and alerts. Now let's talk about resistance to AI in transactional banks. So some banks are slow to adopt AI due to fear of job losses, outdated system that can't run AI tools, lack of AI knowledge among staffs, traditional culture that raises the rapid changes of technology. So now let's talk about training bank staffs on AI tools. To solve that, banks need to train staffs. It's starting with awareness sessions on AI basis. It gives hand-on training on tools like dashboards and fraud detection system. It customizes learning for each department, and it promotes continuous learning through certifications and webinars. Now let's talk about over-dependence on AI risk. Over-dependence on AI is a risk. So relying too much on AI can be risky. If AI fails, operations can be stopped. It can weaken the human decision making. AI errors can affect thousands of customers at once. In fast-moving crises, AI may respond too slowly without human backup. Now let's talk about human AI collaboration in incident response. So best results come when human and AI work together. AI detect threats quickly, human review complex alerts where context is needed. AI gives suggestions, final action is taken by experts. This leads to faster, more accurate threat handling. Now let's talk about simulated AI red team attacks. So banks use red teams to test their own security. AI can simulate smart cyber attacks like malware or phishing. It helps banks to find weak spots in advance. The results are used to upgrade AI models and defenses. Now let's talk about role of AI in digital forensic. After a cyber attack, banks need to investigate. AI helps by tracking how the attack happens, detecting malware paths, and recovering lost or stolen data, creating reports that can be used in legal actions. Now let's talk about evolution of AI-based threats. Cyber criminals are also using AI, creating smart malware that change itself, sending personalized phishing emails, and using deepfake to track banks and customers, even building self-learning bots that attack without humans. Now let's talk about next-gen banking threats. The future, the future threats to bank includes first one is AI bots that act like real users. Deepfakes like audio, video to fake identity. Malware that updates itself in real time. Banks need an AI system that can keep up with these smart threats. Now let's talk about quantum AI in financial security. Quantum AI is the next level. It will analyze risk much faster than regular AI. It will improve fraud prediction and encryption. But it can also create stronger threat if it is misused. Banks need to start preparing now. Now let's talk about open banking and AI security concern. Open banking connects banks with third-party applications. This creates new risks. Customer data might be exposed. Poor app integration can be lead to loopholes. AI helps by monitoring API and verifying consent, spotting unusual activity very quickly. Now let's talk about the AI and ESG risk in banking. AI affects environmental, social, and governance, or which is also known as ESG goals. To it help to accurately measure climate impact in project evaluations. AI must not show bias against certain communities. Decisions must be transparent to align with ESG ethics. Wrong data or model can lead to greenwashing or bad decisions. Now let's talk about AI maturity model in banking cybersecurity. Banks adopt AI at different levels. Level 1. Level 1 is a basic AI tools used in soils without integration or creating a strategy. Level 2, AI applications tested in specific areas like frauds or transaction monitoring. And level 3, AI system integrate across financial situations and functions with different governance and performance metrics. And level 4 is predictive, proactive, and self-learning. Now let's talk about AI workflow diagram in cybersecurity. Here's how AI work in banking security. Data is collected from logs, users, and transactions. It cleaned and processed. AI detects threats and patterns, and responses are automatized, and feedback is used to keep improving it. Now let's talk about banking in cyber threats map. Banks face many types of cyber threats. First one is phishing. Phishing is fake messages to tricking users. It can be fake emails, messages, or calls. So, second one is malware. Malware or ransomware attacks. Malicious software is used to lock data or spy banking systems until a ransom is paid or an amount is paid. And third is inside threats. Bank employees or third-party vendors with access misuse data or intentionally weaken the security. And fourth and the last one is network instruction and DDoS attacks. It floods system and stops services. Hackers disrupt online bankings and services or steal customer data through system breaches. Now let's talk about AI and mobile banking security. So AI protect mobile banking by first one is biometric. It includes facial and fingerprint recognition using AI. Second one is fraud detection applications. It monitors for suspicious activities. Third one is session monitoring. It detects inactive or risky sessions. Fourth one is ensure device and trustworthiness. It blocks access from compromised devices. Now let's talk about predictive analytics for threat detection. So AI doesn't just detect, it also predicts risk. First one is it tracks user behavior for early signs of danger. Second one is it learns pattern to spot potential threats. Third one is it forecasts future cyber events. And fourth and the last one is it sends early alert to bank so that bank can act quickly. Now let's talk about role of AI in phishing prevention. So AI helps to stop phishing activities. First one is it scan and block fake emails. It detect danger links. It recognize scam languages and urgency tricks. And fourth one is it warning users at exact moment of danger. Now let's talk about AI in preventing data breaches. To stop data breaches, AI detects threats before hackers strike. It encrypts sensitive data. It controls who can access what. And AI also sends alert if something unusual happens. Now let's talk about AI again. AI agents credential stuffing attacks. So in this attack, hackers try to stolen password from everywhere. AI defend by detecting bulk logging attempts, blocking bad IP address, using smart CAPTCHA or MFA if logging looks suspicious, and if locating or looking accounts illegal intelligently. Now let's talk about user and entity behavior analytics or UEBA. So UEBA uses AI to monitor how user behaves. It tracks login times, locations, uses patterns. It flags anything unusual, like an employee accessing data they shouldn't. It monitor it monitors not just people but also device and servers. It helps to stop insiders threat early. Now let's talk about AI in cloud security for banks. Banks use cloud services and AI helps to keep them safe by monitoring cloud activity 24/7. It finding setups mistakes that expose data. It blocking unauthorized logging. It makes sure banks follow privacy rules. Now let's talk about insider threat detection using AI. Not all threats come from outside. AI helps by tracking employees' activities like logins, access levels, and flagging if someone views unauthorized data. It reducing the need for manual checks, but allowing early actions if a risk is spotted. Now let's talk about AI in early threat detection. AI works like a smart guardian. It spots suspicious activities before it turns into a big issue. It predicts threats using past data. It finds even zero-day threats, which are brand new, and it gives time to act early and avoid losses. Now let's talk about AI tools used by banks. Some top tools banks are using are include. First one is Dark Trace. It uses machine learning to spot and respond to cyber threats that's in real time. Second one is IBM QR ADER. So it helps in threat intelligence and incident response. And third one is Splunk. It helps to analyze system behavior. Fourth one is Semantic AI. It protects devices and servers. Now let's talk about AI tools used in banking cybersecurity. More tools like More tools included IBM Watchdog. It helps in fraud analysis and risk detection. Second one is Darktrace. It works like an immune system for networks. Third one is CrowdStrike Falcon. It is a cloud-based AI for device protection. These tools make banking system more intelligent and secure. Now let's talk about AI in risk scoring. AI make risk scoring smarter by updating scores in real time based on customer behavior. It creates personalized risk profile. It's sending alert if someone turns into a high risk user. It helps banks to approve safer loans. Now let's talk about adaptive authentication with AI. AI changes the login process based on risk. Low risk, like simple password, works. Second, high risk, system adds biometrics or OTPs. Third, third one is This makes security stronger without any any unauthorized users. Fourth one is it reduces fraud attempts from unknown devices. Now let's talk about zero trust security model powered by AI. So this model means don't trust anyone by default. So AI check every logging history, even inside the system. It uses micro segmentation and separate data zones. It scores logging risk instantly and allow blocking access. Less need for human review, more automation. Now let's talk about real life examples of HDFC Bank. So HDFC use AI for fraud detection. Their tool on guard track logging patterns and spend behavior. They reduce fraud cases and increase customer trust. Their security includes AI, OTP verification, and encryption. Now let's talk about SBI fraud alert system. So SBI tracks all digital transactions using AI. It learns your usual habits like time, amount, and location. It sends instant alerts through SMS and applications. AI reduce false alarm and improve fraud responses. Now let's talk about Yes Bank real life examples of risk monitoring. Yes Bank's AI system work live to track online and mobile banking activities. It scored every action based on risk. It flagged abnormal logging attempts or high value transaction. It sends alert to internal teams to act faster. Now let's talk about some of the legal framework in India on cybersecurity. Cybersecurity law included IT Act 2000. It covered data protection and cybercrime. CTR, CERT in it sets rule for reporting incidents. RBI circulations or circulators. It covered AI use and digital fraud prevention. And fourth and the last one is DPDP Act 2023. It is new to data protection law for AI. Now let's talk about how RBI promotes secure AI use. RBI encourages safe AI adoptions by running a regulatory sandbox to text AI tools. It releasing guidelines on AI transparency and fairness. It monitoring banks using risk-based supervision. It's supporting AI innovation but with safety in mind. Now let's talk about regulatory compliance with AI. AI helps banks stay compliant by checking if systems follow the law like GDPR or RBI rules, creating audit trails for interviews or reviews. Now, and third one is alterning early if any non-compliance is detected. Fourth and the last one is it reducing chances of legal trouble or fines. Now let's talk about role of AI in regulatory technology or REG tech. REG tech uses AI to automate compliance. It monitors rules violations in real time. It keeps accurate logs for audits. It automates KYC and anti-money laundering checks. It generates a report for regulators in seconds. Now let's talk about global practices to learn from. India can learn from other countries like EU's AI Act. It ensures safe and ethical AI. USA's NIST framework, it guides risk handling, and Singapore's focused on fair and responsible AI uses. Fourth one is UK's Bank of England. It regulatory reviews AI risk. Now let's talk about risk of AI misuse in banking. AI can also be misused. Hackers may use AI for smart attacks. AI can generate realistic phishing or deepfakes. Attackers may even corrupt AI training data. Mishandling data can be lead to privacy leaks. Now let's talk about risk of deepfakes in banking. So deepfakes are AI-generated fakes, voice or videos. Criminals may use them to bypass biometric checks. They can trick employees or customers into frauds. This puts facial and voice security at risk. It also reduces customer trust in digital banking. Now let's talk about cybersecurity challenges for Indian banks. Some big challenges include old IT systems that are not AI ready, low budget for small banks, shortage of skilled cyber experts, and increase in mobile frauds and phishing scams. Now let's talk about how banks can prepare for AI-based risk. To stay safe, bank must train staff on AI-related risk. Keep AI tools updated with fresh data. Use cyber insurance to manage losses and build multiple layer securities with both AI and traditional methods. Now let's talk about some of the importance of human AI collaboration. So human and AI collaboration is a very important thing for in nowadays. So human oversight. So human can or expert verification can be oversighted. Okay. So now let's talk about importance of human AI collaboration. Even though AI is powerful, human involvement is still necessary. AI detects threats quickly, but human adds judgment and context. The best security happens when AI and humans are teamed together and work together, not separately. This reduces both false alarm and missed threats. Now let's talk about training bank staffs for AI risk. Staff need to understand how AI works in banking security. Banks should train employees to use AI tools confidently. Awareness helps to reduce errors and improve decision making. Continuous learning ensures staff stay updated as threats evolve. Now let's talk about AI's impact on customer trust. Customers expert secure smart banking, but also fairness. AI builds trust by stopping fraud in real time. But if AI makes biased or unclear decision, it can break that trust. Transparency and fairness are key to maintaining loyalty. Now let's talk about AI-driven red team simulation. Red team simulations are mock cyber attacks to test system. AI creates realistic attack scenario to find weak points. Banks use these threats to improve their defenses before real attacks happen. It's a safe way to prepare for the worst. Now let's talk about future trend AI in cybersecurity. The futures of AI in banking cybersecurity includes smarter, faster threat detection, AI that learns in real time, using quantum computing for ultra-secure system, more automation with less human efforts. Now let's talk about summary of emerging threats and solutions. New threats include deepfakes, AI-powered scams, and mobile frauds. AI helps to solve this with real-time monitoring, anonymity detection, and better customer verification. Bank must keep upgrade AI model to regulatory to safe or stay safe. Now let's talk about AI in managing third-party risk. Banks often work with outside applications or services. AI tracks how parties handle data. It detects if there are any unusual or risky behavior. This protects customer information even when shared externally. Now let's talk about protecting customers' identity using AI. AI keeps identity AI keeps identities safe by checking biometric like face fingerprint, monitoring for fake accounts or stolen credentials, alerting banks if anything looks suspicious. This helps to stop identity thefts early. Now let's talk about How AI handle multi-channel bank threats script. So now let's talk about how AI handle multi-channel bank threats. So people using banking through applications, websites, ATMs, and call. AI monitors all AI monitors all channel at once. It can link activities across devices and spot threats that human might miss. This creates a complete unified defense system. Now let's talk about AI in real-time compliance monitoring. Bank must follow many rules. AI watches all transaction and process in real time. If sometimes breaks a rule, it alerts the compliance team to instantly handle it. This avoids fines and legal troubles or legal issues. Now let's talk about role of AI in data encryption and management. Encryption protects customer data, uh, and AI manages encryption key securities. It can detect if someone tries to tamper with encrypted data. This ensures privacy even during cyber attacks. So now let's talk about risk matrix table script. So now let's talk about risk matrix table. So risk matrix table is a tool to evaluate and prioritize cyber risk based on likelihood and impact. So uh, AI files in this table automatically using threat data. It shows which risks are highest or medium or low according to their importance. It shows uh, it shows the risks are high, medium, or low. It helps banks to decide where to focus security efforts. Now let's talk about some of the ethical board for AI in BFSI. So bank need ethical AI users. An internal ethic board can review how AI is used. It checks for fairness, bias, privacy, and explainability. This builds trust with both customer and regulations. The purpose of AI ethic boards is to ensure that AI system in banks follow fairness, transparency, and accountability. Functions in BFSI sector, they review AI models to for biases, ensure compliance with data privacy, and guide ethical decision making in risk analysis. And some of the real world relevance is growing use of AI loans approval, fraud detection, and surveillance make such both critical or crucial to avoid unfair outcomes. Now let's talk about AI in regulatory sandbox for fintechs. So what is regulatory sandbox? It is a controlled environment set by regulators to test innovative technologies like AI without full legal exposures. The purpose is to allow startups to experiment with AI-driven solutions like fraud detection, credit scoring, etc. It under real-world conditions. The benefits are include it enables safe testing for algorithms, ensure compliance, readiness, and help refine models before public rollout. And regulatory bodies involved. In India, there are RBI, SEBI, and have launched regulatory sandbox program focusing on AI, blockchain, and cybersecurity use cases. Now let's talk about explainable AI or XAI in cybersecurity. What is XAI or explainable AI? So explainable AI system refers to an AI system whose action on decisions whose actions and decisions are to be clearly understood by humans. So it removing ambiguity and black box. So now let's talk about why XAI matters in cybersecurity. It builds trust by showing how AI flagged a threats. It helping analysts to verify and act on alert confidentially. And use cases are explaining fraud detection alerts, anonymity patterns, and risk scoring detections in simple and interpretable terms. Now let's talk about use of synthetic data for AI training. What is synthetic data? Artificially generated data that mimics real-world data patterns without using actual personal or financial records. It is used to help train fraud detection modules while protecting customers' privacy and complying with data protection laws. It enables creation of real cyber attack scenarios, for example, insider threats, zero-day exploitations that may not exist in real logs. So it reduces risks of data misuse or leakage during AI models development and testing. Now let's talk about AI augmented cybersecurity workforce. So AI does not replace people; it supports them. Repetitive work is handled by AI. Staff focus on critical thinking and decision making. Together, they create a smarter, faster, and cybersecurity team. So, uh, professionals are now, in these days, professionals are now need to understand AI tools, interpret AI outputs, and manage AI based on workflows. And combinations of AI with human intuition uh, is faster and can lead to positive impact. Now let's talk about AI OOPS. AI for IT operations in banking cybersecurity. What is AI OOPS? AI OOPS OPS uses AI and machines learning to automate and enhance IT operations, especially in monitoring and incident responses. It helps to detect anomalies and automate root cause of analysis, and it initiates fast corrective actions across banking system. It reduces downtime, it enhances threat visibility, and ensures proactive risk management in real time. Then now let's talk about an autonomous AI agents for threat hunting. Autonomous AI agents are self-operating systems that proactively scan for hidden threats across networks and endpoints without human intervention. These agents analyze vast data stream to detect suspicious pattern, malware behavior, or insider threats in real time. It equipped with machine learning, they evolve with new threat data and improve their detection capability and vulnerabilities. It enables faster threat identification, reduce response time, and minimize manual workload for cybersecurity teams. Now let's talk about leveraging AI in digital twins model for banking. A digital twin is a virtual replica of banking process. It is a system or customer journey that can be simulated in real time. AI analyzes real-time and historical data in digital twins to simulate cyber attacks and predict system vulnerabilities. Bank can use AI-driven digital twins to stress test cybersecurity scenarios and improve incident response strategically. AI identify weak points, recommend system improvements, and enhance decision-making across departments. Now let's talk about the summary of the key point. So at the end of the presentation, we will at the end of the presentation, we will get to know about the digital banking, why it is important, and why digital banking regulations is important and important. So the digital banking needs stronger cyber defense. This shift to digital platforms has increased exposure to sophisticated cyber threats. AI is a game changer. AI can be a game changer in future in cybersecurity world. AI helps detecting, preventing, and respond cyber risk in real time with greater accuracy. And AI is used in fraud detection, threat monitoring, and customer authentication and credit scoring. And adoption of AI must overcome ethically, regulatory, and human skill challenges. Yet it is the future in banking, and it is highly promising. So, in today's digital world, bank must be reactive, not reactive. AI is not just a tool; it becomes a critical partner in managing cyber risk. But we must also stay aware of its limitation and risk. The goal is to build trust, stay secure, and use AI responsibly.